actually remember.
Oh.
It says something like an association of Usui system masters or something like that. Is that right?
I can't even remember as well as that, but that sounds like
Something like that.
Is that the kind of the official seal of the Alliance?
Well, I forgot about the whole. Now I have to talk about something I don't like. See, this is for me where culture and Reiki kind of come together in not a very great way for me yet. You know, it doesn't feel good in my body yet. How we got to call it Reiki and how this particular form came about was through a man who lived in Japan. And because the lineage has come down through the Japanese culture in some way, we have, along with that discipline, also acquired some cultural aspects that I don't think really have anything to do with the actual discipline. And I can't actually sort those out for myself yet, but this is my feeling. And in Japan and in China, they have these things called homes, which basically was to have you sign something and then you stamp your seal saying that this was really your signature, right? The English had rings, you know, that they used with sealing wax, and they would do the same kind of thing. So traditionally, a man's hon was their name. That was like kind of their business. And then if they had a business, they might have a business hon, which would say something. And my grandmother had one that Hayashi had given her that said something like the Honored Association of the Usui System of Natural Healing or something like that. And my mother, when my grandmother died, put her homes in a safety deposit box and then had one made like my grandmother's for myself, and then had my own Furumoto one done for me. And that was her gift to me. And in some way, it was the way that she passed the legacy of the lineage down to me in a physical form. When Paul Mitchell wrote this little book, and sometime in this space, Michael started to, he's a really incredible carver, and he started to carve homes for people. It was a really special thing that came from him. When he connected with a person, he would just connect with their energy, and he would do these incredible things that were sort of like tarot readings or something, that they were these little homes, and they were very, very beautiful. And Paul decided that he wanted to have a hon for the Reiki Alliance, so he had one made through help with another Japanese master in San Francisco. And at that time, our relationship was a bit unclear. And I feel like this is a place where I haven't come to terms with the culture in some way. Like, I feel like he overstepped his boundary. I don't feel good about people using the homes, not because they aren't special and people treasure them and they really love it, because it just feels great to have the stone in your hand and you go like that and it has this really beautiful imprint. So there's a part of me that really understands that. I can support that feeling because it feels really great, and I have to admit that. But then there's this other part of me that wonders about it. You know, it just feels something like this taken out of a culture and transplanted, but the essence hasn't transplanted. It's only the form of it. And I don't know what to do about that, because then I think, but these people really do have the essence, because when they use it, they feel really good about it. And so I'm pretty confused about this part, about the poem. So that's the whole story for me about the hone, and it's now used, and people use it a lot. And there's a couple of other people who are doing carvings for personal homes. And in some way, it's like this automatic thing that's happening now. And that, for me, is not what these homes were really about in the very beginning. Because Michael was my husband, and he would meet all these people, like from the very beginning when they first started training with me, he'd see them through all this stuff, and years sometimes of struggle with me. And he'd see the real core of this person and their gift in some way to Reiki, and he would have that be in their home. And that's what was so special for me, was that in some way it came as a gift of recognition of their mastery at some point between he and this other person. And that's not the feeling for me anymore. The feeling for me is people are getting them because it's cool. And I mean, I don't want to put anybody down here, but it just has that feeling for me sometimes, and it's sad for me. So this is the place where my Japaneseness and my boundaries around privacy and so on kind of get gray. So if any of you have any really wonderful, enlightening things to say about this, I would love to hear them. Because I want to, I'd just like to be clear about it. I mean, it's been 5 years, and I'm still not clear about this particular aspect.
I'd just like to share about that, because I can really appreciate what you're saying, and now I feel a wondering of whether I'm going to keep using it or not, and I guess I'll only know that when the time comes for me to take it out and use it. But I know that partly for me it felt like I was connecting to the lineage through using it, and there's not very much here about the lineage, and it felt like a really incredibly special connection. So,
I feel that way too. There's a real connection.
I think the students appreciate it too.
Yes, they do.
My students comment about it. I think they appreciate it.
What do they say about it?
Oh, they like it. It's I don't know. It's hard to put into words, but it seems right. It gives it. I feel it gives it a personal feel. Instead of just being a piece of cotton. It's something personal that you have, it's something that's personal that relates to you as their master. And that's not an ego trip, but it's just something you can't take out and they appreciate.
I'm concerned that it's rather than personal, then it's a connection to the tradition.
The authenticity.
Yes.
The seal.
And how real it is, I don't know, but it carries that quality.
I felt the seal is more personal because it's really one is more official.
For me, it's actually an honour
To
use it on home.
Yeah. It's different seeing a master certificate without the hon. To me, it distinguishes a master that sits in that grey area, of the Sui system. It's not too really sure, but is a member of the Alliance anyway. But for some reason didn't want to take that onto their certificate. And it just seems very, very incomplete without it being there. And I treasure it highly. I mean, I don't see it as a part of my tradition at all. I see it as a part of Dr. Sui's tradition coming through to us.
Privileged to allow us to use it and carry on that.
Yeah. It's an honour to
Sacred.
use it.
What?
I really feel that. I don't think about the certificate without it. I just feel about the honour of using it.
And I don't want a personal home for myself. I thought about it and I thought, no, this is complete just as it is.
I felt that I had those feelings inside when using it and didn't really know what they meant, and even just listening to you, though, I have more of a reverence for it, and I feel that I will even have a different perspective even now in using it. I don't have any sense of not using it, rather that will deepen within me. So for that I thank you.
Things like joining the hands and bowing that were quite strange to me initially. But I mean, that's become so much part of my being. I mean, that's not sort of anything to do with me or my Australian upbringing or conditioning. That's just something that I feel and it's a connection.
That's a connection and respect.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too.
That's